Hello everyone, my name is PolishLynx. This is the third part of Ambre. That night, she left a devastated Tristan lying as immobile as a statue on the sofa, sleeping between the covers of her cozy bedsheets. She felt helpless. If only I was older. The thought took root more violently in her mind to the point where it became an emergency. She had to become Tristan Malory's wife. A new routine, says little Ambre. It was out of the question for her to stay a little girl. She wanted to grow as prematurely as a butterfly, its beauty cursed by its ephemeral life. This began a kind of adolescence. She no longer woke up in the morning when the 30-year-old went to work. She waited until midday to surface and took her meal at that time. Tristan did not call at his usual hour anymore. He knew that she would not be in a good mood. After a brief meal, the young girl watched television while leafing through magazines, but with her benefactor's pocket money. Her afternoon ranged between American TV shows and beauty tips. Between the pages of magazines, she learned how to seduce men, a leitmotif she liked a lot. She wanted Tristan to look at her from another angle and in a different way. To be seen as a woman, she had to act as a woman, but she absolutely didn't know how to do this. Those magazines, which were overflowing with tips of all kinds, appeared to be an Eldorado. Through the articles she learned how to act and how to be a true lady. It wasn't very complicated. She only had to keep a close watch on her gestures, to control her every movement perfectly, so as to convey the best image possible. She tracked down all human weaknesses, every inconvenience, and walked with a relaxed air and self-assurance, designed not to frighten or crush. Ambre shook her head while she was reading the magazine article. Of course she had to be open and smiling, but not so much that she came across as exuberant. She had to laugh often but not too loudly, and never in a hysterical manner. She had to be independent while taking initiative, but only if the situation was favorable and at the same time non-threatening. She had to show herself to be as natural as possible while enhancing all her advantages with makeup. Ambre understood the necessity of buying some in order to be a true woman, and finally to dress in a manner feminine enough to enhance while being at the same time sober enough so as not to attract unwanted attention. And then she learned how to listen to men, and that talking too much was a sign of egotism, and that she should be discreet will also present and available for when he really needed it without being too obvious. As she turned page after page, the young girl felt a pressing urge to spend all her money on the products shown in the advertisements and praised by the journalists. After all, she would need them in order to seduce Tristan. How could she have the slightest chance without cheating a little? Furthermore, a revealing psychological test claimed that Ambre would gain more affection acting like a fragile little girl. Men needed to be reassured of their virility and of their protector's role. Also, she was herself too vulnerable, too frail. She couldn't manage anything worthy without help. She had to find validation in his eyes, validation in her very existence. If he thinks that I'm pretty, I will be pretty, like on that photograph. Like this, Ambre spent her afternoons reading tips, training herself, and concealing herself. When she wasn't watching soap operas, she was shopping in the city to buy clothes, accessories, and cosmetics. The city, like the television, showed her visions of absolute and infinite love, of perfect and pure love. It was a drug, an obligation, a flawless pleasure, and an order. Every billboard sold the same dream. Ah, so cliché, so desirable. It followed after the fairy tale formula. They all lived happily ever after with abundant wealth and many children. The heroines of romances and films all run after the same goal, that of profit, ease, luxury, a life where everything was easy, but where everything had lost its taste. It was a dull life and a hollow one. It was an eternal masquerade. But this existential emptiness was easy to feel. One had only to consume and be consumed. One only needed to devote one's soul to removing every trace of nature, to hide the grotesque, natural body, the body that was too personal, too imperfect, too real to be replaced with a mirage. One only needed to spend without restraint in order to conquer the piggy bank of one's dreams, that machine that gave banknotes and weak orgasms. Orgasm? Okay, to make oneself into a diamond, a beautiful shiny trinket that everyone should have in one's living room, destroying one's own immaterial value and replacing it with the coin of the realm. And the one basket, in idleness, turning around in one's cage, without purpose to continue living with dignity, wandering like a lost soul, disguised as a clown with too much red paint on the face. The result? A grim robot. One needs to feel the lack, the absence of life, the disease that devours one's blood and all one's authenticity, with money, always more money. Buy, until one forgets discomfort and one's sense of well-being. Ambre admired today's celebrities, those picture-perfect idols, whose bodies exuded not even the slightest trace of life, and whose uninspired songs only glorify the permanent state of pleasure. Pleasure without work. Like massively produced Barbie dolls, clones by the dozens, such celebrities merge into a single canon of unsurpassed beauty, deemed absolute truth. The stars dived into this endless cycle of fun with such ease, it was truly fascinating. Every minute that passed after a singer's first success was a minute of intense scrutiny, as the whole world glued its eyes on the morbid show that was her slow suffocation and imminent drowning. Nothing could bring more exquisite pleasure, nor be a prettier sight, than that of young women slowly being engulfed by the shadowy tentacles of their dreams. They sacrificed their bodies to the cuts of plastic surgery's scalpels, to the point where they no longer stem cells anymore, to the point where they transformed into some kind of wonderful monsters. Okay, that's the part I don't like. Woman, if you watch, no plastic surgeries. Never. Don't go for that. They had rejected their personalities and histories to blend with the world, to conform themselves to the public's every expectation, to become the shop windows of modern times and the faces of a single form of happiness, advertised at every street's corner. Happiness that our little Ambre longingly gazed upon, while becoming a star seemed out of her reach, looking like one was a duty that the tabloids never ceased to remind her of, that frivolous media, with sordid fools and so many consequences. When Tristan Malory came home at the end of his working day, he would find Ambre already taking care of him by trying to cook delicious meals. The ever so elegant Ambre craved to always show her best, becoming the perfect little strong-willed housewife. He was past the point of missing the innocent days, but in all honesty, he didn't understand why the young lady was putting so much effort into becoming such a perfect creature. One evening, while she was cooking a special dish from a recipe she'd learned on TV, the whole thing accompanied by a candlelit table, in order to celebrate his birthday, he dared to ask, "Say, Ambre, why are you doing so much for me?" That too honest question came like a hammer's blow. His complete incomprehension sounded like an insult. She'd probably spent hours gussing up in the bathroom to look fresh and at her best, and hours had gone into tidying the house, cleaning every nook and cranny until it was spotless. She'd probably spent hours decorating and hours tending to this god-forsaken rose, laboriously cutting vegetables, and here he was asking her why she was trying this hard. The knife in her hands fell violently to the floor, emitting a metallic sound that meant nothing good. "Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this?" Ambre's voice trembled dangerously. Getting close, he noticed her frantically shaking hands. Eyes wide open, soaked in tears, she exploded. "Because I want you to love me! I want you to look at me! Why don't you ever look at me? Am I not good enough? Is that it? I will never be as good as she was, will I?" But Ambre, who are you talking about?" Dumbfounded, Tristan held her in his arms as tightly as he could. No, he definitely couldn't understand. He couldn't understand such intense and sudden sobs. Reached by his gesture, Ambre wanted to explain herself. I'm sorry. I'll never be able to replace her. Who are you trying to replace, Ambre? Tell me. Your wife. I can see her departure left you very sad. I wanted to bring a smile back to your face. I wanted to take her place so to forget about her. For a split second, Tristan Malory was breathless. It was surreal. He would have pinched him to make sure he was dreaming, but no. The pain in his chest was far too real, too pitiful carrying him. How could he answer such a declaration? How could he find the right words? Catching his breath with difficulty, the 30-year-old man took Ambre by the shoulders and looked her in the eyes for a long time. After a sigh, he affirmed, "Listen, I will never be able to forget my wife, alright? It's impossible. But that doesn't mean I don't want you. It's the exact opposite, actually. You are very dear to me, Ambre. You hear me? I need you. You already have her place. So please stop crying. Don't make it harder than it is." The young girl shyly dried her tears and her features changed to an utterly naive expression. She looked sincerely despaired. "You're okay with me?" "What made you think I'd abandon you, huh?" "Nothing, it's just that you seem to love her so much. I'm a bit jealous." "Why is that?" "I don't know. When I look at those pictures, I can't help but tell myself I must absolutely make you happy. I think I love you." God damn it. Tristan felt all the courage and determination he had worked up melting, and he started sobbing as well. "But I love you too. It's always been like that. I love you so much that it makes you sick." "For real? You're not treating me like a kid?" "Of course not." "Then don't prove it." "How should I?" "Show me you love me like a man loves someone." Oh my god. You want me to do that? Ambre silently nodded. She seems dead set on it, so Tristan slowly and softly kissed her lips. "She's like 10 years old, man. What is wrong with you?" The warm and pleasurable feeling went to his head. For a few seconds he felt as if he was holding his wife in his arms. He thought she had really come back. The delicate vanilla-scented skin reminded him of happy days, long afternoons spent in the sun, of laughter, of peaceful evening under the light of the stars, or by a fire, or beneath a short umbrella in a storm. She was here, so close, so far, within a finger's reach. He only had to close his eyes and believe in his dreams. In this dream, the illusion smiled faintly at him, and at this limit he embraced her. "If you only knew how much I love you." He had so many things he wished to tell her, so many that the words got stuck in his throat, unable to escape. Since he lacked the words to make her understand what he was feeling, he used his body. What? As dawn's rays of light crept through the window, Ambre was profoundly asleep, lying atop Tristan's still lukewarm body. Eyes surrounded by dark circles, the weight of regrets, a fatigue he couldn't get rid of. He stared at her with a sad smile on his face. "It was only a dream, right? When you wake up, you'll be kid again, right?" The only answer he got was a light groaning. Softened by such a serene face, he left a kiss on her fresh cheeks. As soon as he did, the sleeping lips spread to form a happy smile. "I wonder what you're dreaming about. Say, won't you invite me over there?" What the fuck is he talking about? Seriously. Did it get where I think it got? From that strange night on, in a paroxysm of lies, Ambre got Tristan to agree to be a somewhat official couple. Food she asked for and gained her drink and would not hesitate to walk the streets locked into his arm. Soon it wasn't enough anymore. Avidly, voraciously, even she couldn't satisfy herself with the girlfriend status. She needed more. She needed to see past the one that was there before her, her invisible rival, whose shadow was always looming like Damocles' sword. So she would drag Tristan to wedding shops, dreaming of the perfect ceremony and her day of glory. I will end the episode here. I'm broken. I'm completely broken after what happened. See you in the next episode. Bye.